Hello and welcome back. My name is Bijoy Sengupta and welcome to my show where I feature services and ideas that have the potential of changing our lives and businesses forever. My guests today are the co-founders of HOSTEC Hospitality Solutions, the leaders in hospitality procurement, the only hospitality procurement company that is focusing on guest experiences to drive value to their customers. It's a pleasure to welcome Vivek, Bohra and Apoorva Shah. Vivek and Apoorva are here to talk about their fascinating journey. Vivek and Apoorva, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bijoy.
Thank you for having us on your feature show.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Great to have you. Great to have you on the show. And I'm sure there are viewers and listeners who would really want to know your success story. So what's your story? What is HOSTEC's story?
So I'm essentially a second generation entrepreneur and I'm excited by opportunities that focus on problem solving. And I came across the hospitality industry almost 5 years ago when I started marketing rugs and carpets to them. And I realized that the procurement systems at hotels were in need of drastic help and change. And I was looking for somebody that I could partner with to create a larger offering for the industry to make a change that would actually matter. And that's when I actually met up with Apoorva. We discussed similar experiences that we had in dealing with the industry. And that's where the thought of HOSTEC actually germinated.
Excellent. Apoorva, how has it been being associated with Apoorva, and what's your background?
So it's been a fascinating journey over the last couple of years. My experience started way back with consulting with one of the big four consulting firms. And that's where the real problem solving capability actually came in. And then I joined a US based textile company where I was actually selling products into hotels. And that's what I realized, that there's a huge opportunity for selling products not only into big hotels, but also in the unorganized segment, which is a massive opportunity as well as the market which lies ahead. And took the plunge. I'm a first generation entrepreneur, tied up with Vivek, who was actually doing rugs and carpets into hospitality. And I think it's been an interesting journey. Day by day, solving problems, solving for the bigger market, which is there. 90% of the market still remains the unorganized, the unaddressed, and the independent market, which is there. And that's where the real cake comes in to help these independent hoteliers, these independent entrepreneurs which are there, and how we add in more value to them. Yeah.
It's so refreshing to see and hear you say that you are here to solve a problem. Which is rarely the case, right? When most people get into to make with the only sole purpose of making money. So I think your heart is at the right place there. So how does it make you feel to see the success that HOSTEC hospitality has tasted over the years in such a short span, to have expanded the company to the level that you have? How does it make you feel to be known amongst the best in the industry as a quality service provider?
So we're extremely proud as well as humbled by the adulation that people in the industry have given us, and we've been actually able to deliver results to all of our customers so far. And it's extremely exciting, but it's also a lot of pressure. So the more we perform, the more the pressure to perform further on. And because we place ourselves as problem solvers, we've become the go-to option for the hotel for all problems. Absolutely. And from your background, I'm sure you realize that it's one firefighting opportunity after another at a hotel. So it's been a great journey. It's really humbling, and the pressure is only increasing every day for us.
Yeah,
what we have realized in this journey so far is that as much as it's extremely important to be part of our customers' journey, we've also ensured that we have had suppliers who have not tasted hospitality before, and we've ensured that they are also part of this ecosystem. So that gives us an even bigger high that not only does the hotel or the customer benefit, but even a supplier who's not exposed to that gets another channel to really expand into. And that's what makes this business even more exciting with the different products and the different supply partners that we keep adding day in and day out, you know.
Yeah. So you've helped others also grow along with you. So yeah, great. Well done on that. So Apoorva and Vivek, we're in the middle of a pandemic, an unprecedented event in our lifetime. What makes this time so perfect for your business to be in existence? And what are the type of opportunities that this pandemic has created for businesses like HOSTEC?
So the first thing that COVID has done for pretty much every industry, not just hospitality, it's brought back focus on customer expectations. So for hospitality, it meant that hotels needed to focus more and more on meeting changing guest expectations and improving guest experience. So the guest today is very vocal about the kind of environment that they want at a hotel. They want it to be hygienic, clean, luxurious, or entertaining, a host of features that they want ticked off in the property that they choose to visit. And COVID has allowed the customer to be more demanding and has also pushed the hotelier to make every effort to meet that demand. And this is one of the few chances that the industry has got where it got enough time to prepare for it also. So it's exciting for the industry right now. A lot of changes being seen, a lot of new models of hotels coming up, a lot of new ways of catering to the expectations coming up. So it's an extremely important and interesting time for the hospitality business.
Right, right, right.
And I can also share a little bit more about some of the opportunities that the pandemic has thrown up. Is if you look around in terms of the kind of nights that a person is spending at hotels, you've the concept of staycations came about a few years back. Now there are vacations. We all know of individuals who've been put up at hotels for months together because they don't want to be in the city. They don't want to be in an environment where they might have a greater chance of being infected by COVID. So they're going out to locations where they are much more at ease, but they're at a hotel. They're getting the facilities of a hotel, the luxuries of a hotel, but they're using it for their regular work and regular life. And the hotels are adapting to it really fast. They're offering things which they had not offered before at prices that they're not offered before. So
Yeah.
the opportunities are great. And for us, it's even better because as the demand for change increases at a hotel, the action by the hotel to make those changes becomes stronger and more focused. And that's where we really come in. So if you want your hotel to be ready for a guest, say 3 months from now, you don't know what kind of guest to expect, the kind of customer who would be visiting you, we can understand their expectations and help you build your property to cater to those specific expectations with products as well as with expertise that we provide through our partners.
What the pandemic actually has given an opportunity to HOSTEC and is the fact that a lot of the independent hoteliers today want to step up the gas and make their presence felt. You know, there was a lot of tendency to go with the bigger brands only, but a lot of independent hoteliers are now stepping up the gas and saying, hey, you know what, this opportunity is giving me to reset and actually go back and build a better, offering to my customer. It's not only the brand which actually is going to take the cake, but I will also want to be part of the cake. So that's what is happening to a lot of the independent and unorganized hoteliers, and also to a lot of the locations in tier 2 and tier 3 cities are getting a huge demand of people going. Places like Alibag, Daman, Diu, Silvas, Ooty, Corbett Park, Nainital. Now these were destinations which were obviously tourist destinations, but now with the pandemic coming in, it's even more resounding for them to step up and actually have a play in the room place now. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're so right. We all heard stories about how hotel companies were so depressed 2 months into the pandemic, and suddenly we saw this trend of hotels suddenly pivoting,
Yeah,
and this demand being generated from multiple smaller hotels as well,
absolutely.
and similarly from procurement companies. I mean, from a reduction in orders, most companies saw an increase in orders. The number of orders may have increased, but I mean, they were scrambling suddenly to source materials to meet the demands of the customers. And I mean, it created business opportunities as well, which is so nice to hear that you have been part of that story as well and lived it as part of HOSTEC. So brilliant there. Vivek and Apoorva, procurement has been predominantly a traditional way of doing business. How would you merge modern methods and traditional ways of doing business at HOSTEC? How do you see the future panning out?
So HOSTEC is essentially a business that's a merger of the traditional and the modern. We're taking best practices in procurement, whether they're from the hotel side or from the supplier side, and we are merging it with digital technology to democratize and enable every hotel to deliver quality guest experience regardless of the hotel's size and location. So we are making the same quality available to, say, a hotel in New Delhi as we would to, say, a five-room hotel in Siliguri. And that's what I believe is the biggest value that HOSTEC brings on, is enabling each and every one to be able to deliver what they set out to deliver. So your price of room, your cost of product, your guest expectations, none of those are to be barriers in terms of providing quality guest experience. And that's where the merger of HOSTEC's traditional practices with the modern technology is enabling them to do that.
Right, right. And what are the plans do you see technology and automation playing a role in the procurement field in the future?
Of course,
Absolutely.
as more and more procurement managers or owners become conscious of the fact that procurement is not only about cost saving, it's also about purchasing right and enhancing guest experience based on what you purchase. The focus will be more and more on getting quality supply partners on board. So the hotels would be looking to partner with companies like ours who make these things available at a reasonable cost within a reasonable time frame, which will all only be enabled by technology. So if a hotel is ordering about, say, 300 odd products for their room, they need not get into a negotiation with 300 vendors and negotiate different timelines in terms of when to deliver the product, the payments of the same. Now they can come on to a single platform like HOSTEC and then have tie-ups where we take care of all their procurement and enable them to buy all those products in a much more easy fashion. So they can focus more on their guest than they actually do on the physical process of procurement. And that's all going to be made easy essentially by implementing good technology.
You know, one of the key challenges which you would have also seen as a hotelier, Bijoy, is order fulfillment, right? And hotels work and hotel procurement departments work on a very, very tight leash, right? I mean, through technology, we do expect order fulfillment to be much, much more faster. You know, automation, notifications, the wish lists created. Things should be much more easier and not last moment, right? And logistics is such an important and critical factor in this entire business of supply chain, where to a hotel which is as deep in Siliguri, you want the goods to reach in 5 to 7 days and not take 20 to 30 days. And that can only happen with proper planning, proper procurement systems, the necessary automation and the data that is there. So it's going to be very important to have those pieces together to give not only the product on time, fulfill, but what happens is the impact towards guest experience. And that's where the real challenge for us is to merge order fulfillment, product, and ensure that the guest experience over the end guest, which is not the hotel. Our customer obviously is going to be the hotel, but the end guest should have a soothing experience. So it's a long chain, and that's what we are really trying to solve over there.
Yeah, brilliant. All this with a pure, clear intent of benefiting the end customer, which is the guest who pays for the room night. So a great purpose to have. So the hotel, restaurant, and catering segment is a vast segment. There are so many aspects to this. What makes this segment exciting for you? And I mean, how would you maneuver the entire expanse of this industry?
Okay, on a lighter note, I'll take this. I'm a foodie and I'm a travel enthusiast. So for me, it's a no-brainer to be part of this industry. I love to travel and I love my food. So to me, that's one passion which has always been there. I've been out and about since the last 20 years now. So I travel intensively and I love my food. And that's the kick, right? And that's the purpose, that if I'm able to really merge my interest of travel and food, and also the fact that this is an entrepreneurial venture for me, that makes it very, very exciting, you know.
So I'll ask you a sub question before we get Vivek's response. Do you have the habit of flipping the cups and saucers in the restaurant to see which brand it is from when you go and visit?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Okay. Absolutely, without a doubt. And actually, now what has happened, it's also transferred to my wife and my daughter. And my daughter will say, "Why are you not supplying over here?"
Oh wow, it's at that level. Wow. I mean,
so that
you're living it, yeah.
That excites me to say, okay, we need to do even more probably. So yeah. But the idea is that since you're part of the industry, and how can we add value to that customer is what the premise is, and that's the purpose which really drives us at HOSTEC to add value to that customer. And I think it's an exciting and an unbelievably big opportunity. It's a huge market, right? The HoReCa market,
yeah.
Hotels, restaurants. There's so many segments associated with that. And the Indian population travels so much, right? I mean, the kind of tourism that we expect in 2021 is going to be pretty awesome because of a lot of domestic movement, right? I mean, we don't expect only Goa or Udaipur to really shine. We do expect a lot in the Northeast, or Uttarakhand, Jammu Kashmir. A lot of these places are going to be flux with travelers. So I think this is a very, very exciting time in this space. I know the pandemic took a toll. We had a lockdown. People could not move. But this is probably the time where the industry will bounce back. And the industry has taken into consideration a lot of these precautions, a lot of the necessary things which need to be done to really bounce back. And that really excites us to be part of this. I mean, absolutely very, very exciting to be part of this industry.
Yeah, the place to be. Yeah. Vivek?
So hospitality, as we all know, or tourism, is one of the oldest industries. And it's one of the largest contributors to the world economy in terms of whether it's GDP or actual employment. But because it's been so angry, the industry has also been very slow to change. But with the advent of information technology, people being able to share their vacations over Facebook or Google, people are more keen to travel and explore new places, new properties, new countries. And that has brought the focus to this industry in the last probably 1.5 to 2 decades. And this has led to multiple prominent ventures focusing on the industry. So you've got prominent OTAs or modern chain aggregators, or you've got different companies in supply chain. A lot of people coming in and forming large successful ventures in the HoReCa space. And that's enlivening the entire environment around the industry. It's not just in pockets of the industry. Everything in the industry is buzzing, and hence it's a great time to be a part of this segment.
Absolutely. So Vivek and Apoorva, Well, we've got to know quite a bit about your business and what you feel about the current business environment. Now, something for the young entrepreneurs. What would be your message to them, since you both have been in this space for some time now? What would you like to tell a young individual who would want to get into the entrepreneurial journey?
So I'll take this question first since I have a little bit more gray hair than Apoorva does. So I've done multiple ventures in the last 2 decades that I've been in business. And I've realized that selection of the right business opportunity is very important in the planning process of one's entrepreneurial journey. If your business focuses on removing an obstruction in any industry, then the chances of your business growing successfully are much higher. So one should spend some quality time and effort in identifying the one business opportunity that you want to focus on and then go for it.
Brilliant. I mean, short and crisp. Apoorv?
I think it's just the attitude to win and not to play. If you got the attitude to win, that's what matters. And I think it's important to realize that it's a very long journey and it's a very, very curvy journey also. So be ready for that. But and rejection and loss is part of the game. But if you have the heart to really, really push forward, that's important. All in all, yeah, I mean, it's very exciting to be an entrepreneur, but it's the calling which you need to have rather than seeing it on internet or listening from others. It's more important whether you are ready for that or not. It's not something that you need to copy someone. That if this guy has done it, I would like to do it. And there should not be any plan B. I mean, this is the only plan that you need to work on: plan A and plan A. That's it. There's no plan B in this journey.
Absolute nuggets of advice coming in from hardcore experience, on ground experience. So really appreciate you sharing this with us. So if you were not an entrepreneur, what would you have done if you were not into business? What would you have done otherwise?
It's absolutely clear in my mind. I would most definitely be engaged as an environmentalist somewhere, maybe hugging a tree or trying to save a forest. That's what I'd be doing.
And if I have to ask you, where does that come from? Is there any story, background to that you would like to share?
Story is pretty much just an early introduction to nature and things around, and an appreciation for things that are created in this world. And I believe there's a definite space for everything in this world. We are not the only ones here to enjoy and exploit what's been made available to us. And I take that as a serious ideology in everything that I do. So I got introduced to this concept very early in school, and I've been part of multiple clubs and been a person who loves the outdoors since the beginning. But unfortunately, I never explored that side as a career. But if I was to go back, and probably once I'm done with HOSTEC, you'll find me on a farm or a jungle somewhere.
Yeah, I'll join you there surely. Apoorv?
Yes, I love sports, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
I've played sports also, and yeah, I mean, that day also when India won the match, I just could not concentrate, and I was like literally crying on my computer. And even right now, I'm getting those goosebumps. So I love sports, right? So I would have been into some kind of sports. I mean, yeah.
Excellent. So it was nice having you, Vivek and Apoorva on the show. You've shared some interesting stories about your journey, how your company took shape, and how is it to be really in business. I'm sure this the viewers and listeners would find motivation from your journey, how your business was able to actually leverage from the pandemic that has hit all of us so hard, but you've drawn positives out of this adversity, and of course sharing nuggets of wisdom on how you take the entrepreneurial journey. So thank you for being on the show, Vivek and Apoorva.
Thank you for hosting us, Bijoy, and allowing us to be part of your show and sharing whatever little experience we've had this far.
Thanks, Bijoy. I appreciate this, and good luck with your future endeavors as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Vivek and Apoorva. It was a pleasure as well.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and keep following my channel on LinkedIn for more features on businesses that are making a difference in the HoReCa segment. If you want to be featured on my show, just drop me a message. This is Bijoy Sengupta signing off, and I'll see you soon with another game changer. Don't forget to listen to the full interview on all major podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcasts. You can also watch the full interview on YouTube. I will share the link in the comment section of my post on LinkedIn. Goodbye.